I just wanted to be myself. That was the most important thing. You know, I wasn't there for the drama. I wasn't there for the hype or anything like that. I didn't want to be boring. Obviously, you know, we're at the end of the day, it's TV. You're watching something. And also, I was the first Emirati that they reached out to be on the show. So I'm kind of like representing for my community as well. So I have to be a little bit careful in terms of what I did. Whatever I do, like, will my mom and dad be okay to watch this?
Marwan El-Awadi is more commonly known by his electrifying stage name DJ Bliss, a creative force disrupting the international music scene. He has performed with global icons like Drake, Beyonce and Coldplay. He's not just the first Emirati DJ to have #1 album on iTunes, but also one of the stars of Netflix hit show Dubai Bling, a true trailblazer in the realm of Middle Eastern music and nightlife. What kind of character attributes do you have that contributed to who you are right now?
I always used to tell people it's about
Welcome back, Alphas, to a new inspiring episode of the Alpha Talks podcast. Today in the studio, I've got a very special alpha for you today. Marwan El-Awadi is more commonly known by his electrifying stage name DJ Bliss, a true trailblazer in the realm of Middle Eastern music and nightlife. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the pioneer of the music and nightlife scene in the Middle East and the one and only DJ Bliss. Marwan, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Man, you're one of the... When we were all watching, with the team sitting here watching Dubai Bling, you're our favorite actor in the show.
Thank you.
We're very happy to have you today.
Thank you very much.
Before we start, let's say when we publish the episode, people will look at the thumbnail, will see the title, will see the graphics, and they will think that's a really interesting episode. What can we promise them that they will gain today if they give us their time? Whatever.
I mean, you're getting a story of a local kid from Dubai, born and raised, never left for high school, university, to be in a situation to not in a good or bad way, but born and raised here, like created here, and also made in Dubai. And it's a success story of someone who's born and raised over here without any handouts. You know, it wasn't like something that was given to me from my parents or anybody else. You know, I had to go out and
make it happen,
learn myself. And as you can tell from just reading the bio, like, I went through different things in my life to get to where I am today. And that's been sort of the secret to my success. You know, it was never enough to stop with whatever I got. I always wanted more. I wanted to be better. And I'm a Gemini by my star sign. So I always, find like new ideas that I want to do and want to go after it. So and to get to where I am today, and I hope my story inspires, even if it inspires one person out there who's sitting in their room wondering if they can ever make it. Like, this is it to tell you that yes, you can.
I'm sure it's gonna happen. Before we start, how are you today? How do you feel today?
I'm doing great today. It's been a great day. Sometimes like the energy of the day is right, and I felt like today was that kind of day. I woke up, I watched the basketball game, my team won.
Which team?
The Lakers.
Okay, yeah.
So it was a good day. I watched the Lakers win. It's always a good start to the morning. And then generally, like, I think if you start your morning on a positive note, like, your rest of the days always goes like that. So that's 100%. Why they tell you, don't pick up your phone, don't read the news, don't...
social media,
I'm trying to like focus a little bit more on that stuff, and it's working, It's been a good day, I'm not going to lie. And the weather in Dubai is amazing.
We're just talking about that now. Let's say... Everybody knows who's Marwan, but if I ask you who's Marwan from your perspective, if you want to give it in a nutshell to our audience.
Like I said, kid from Dubai, born over here. My father was in the toy business. I used to always like go with him to his office or like work at his shop. I learned like, my entrepreneurial skills came, from a very young age. Like even in my high school, I used to go and help them out in the summer or whenever I had time off. And then the sort of the music side came during school days. I actually used to be like in a band. I used to play the guitar and drums first. My brother taught me. And then I was doing like radio a little bit in my school. And then I wouldn't get invited to any of the parties. I wasn't part of the cool kids in school. So I thought, how could I get to all these parties? And I thought like DJing would be the answer. And it was, I knew there was something there. I didn't know for sure this is what I wanted to do, or if I, had a clear picture. I still went to high school. I went to university and studied IT, business information technology, but...
You never worked in this field?
Not really, no. I did do like I worked for a multinational company for like a short 6-month stint. And then I realized that, and this was like mid me being in radio and TV, because as soon as I graduated from university, I was already DJing a little bit on part-time. And I was making like good money. I was able to buy my own car and go out and do my own thing. And then I got a job in radio, and then it was good. You know, it was difficult in those days to tell my parents that I went to high school, university to now just become a DJ.
How did you pass this? Because in our culture, I would say, saying I'm going to be a DJ, I think it's a little bit tough.
I think the radio helped a lot. You know, it was like I was going in during the day and I was doing the radio stuff. It was helping me for my DJing stuff as well. But I think for my parents and for the culture and for society as a whole, it helped because it wasn't like I was doing just DJing. I think if I was just DJing, sleeping all day, just going to DJ at night, I could have lived like that. I think it would have been a problem. Then from radio went into TV. So it became a situation where my parents went from like, you know, what are you doing with your life? Why don't you be like all your other siblings and like go into like get a real job or you know, do something that's more professional, into, hey, that's my son, he's on TV, you know, like that's how when they talk to their friends, you know, the culture.
Part, the proud part comes in. Who taught you guitar?
My brother, actually.
You have family of 5, as I know.
We're a family of 5. Yeah, we're a big family. And funny enough, I was the black sheep of the family. So I was the only one like outside. And my brothers, 2 of them were working for multinationals. My third brother was in finance. And my sister was working for a university.
No way.
Now we're trying to fight to see who's the black sheep. My 2 brothers got into like content creation and media.
Oh, really?
My brother went from, my younger brother went from going finance into like, he's now a cinematographer. And my sister is like the first female Emirati chef, so we kind of like all switched over. I told you, I was the black sheep. Now we're like, who's the black sheep?
A quick note, I find this incredibly intriguing. On the back end of our YouTube channel, it says around 75% of you who watch this channel frequently over the lifetime of this channel haven't yet hit the subscribe button. I just wanted to ask you for a favor. It helps this channel so much if you choose to just subscribe. It helps us invite guests that give you great value. It helps us scale the production, and as well makes this show bigger and bigger for you. And if you enjoyed the previous episodes and you're currently enjoying this episode, could you please hit the subscribe button? I love your support. It's incredible to see all your comments and engagement. And we are just starting. Thank you so much, and I will repay this gesture by making sure that everything we do on this show makes it bigger, and better. I'm committed to do this promise. Do we have a deal? Thank you so much for subscribing. It means the world to me.
But how did becoming a DJ came to your mind? Just because you want to join the parties? Really?
It was kind of like started like that, you know, just collecting music and, you know, I was like, you know, I could throw some parties. I could be in, you know, go to these parties and be a part of it. And then, you know, I got a job in the summer after I graduated from school, which I got fired for, by the way. And they had professional equipment. And then when I went there, I wasn't doing my work. I was supposed to talk and play the music. I was learning how to mix songs. And I'm like, oh, this is very fascinating. And just quickly, I learned that this thing is like a hobby for me. And, you know, I told you my trait, I love learning new things. So I was learning, and quickly I became very good. And within the span of like 3 years, from that date, or 3 to 4 years, I already was in DJ competitions. I won that one 5 years later. And the prize was to play at Ministry of Sound in London.
My God.
So
tell me about this. But tell me, I want to know about this because this award is big.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great thing back in those days. We didn't have anything like that, and I lost 3 years in a row. By the way, the first year I was like, I didn't even make it to the second round. The next year I thought I did very well, and I feel like I got cheated by the judges, but I didn't quit. You know, I kept coming back until I proved the point. Like I want to do this, and that was the last time. The time I won was the last time I took part in a competition, and it gave me.
So that was the last competition.
That was the third and last time. And it gave me a taste of what international DJing and touring was like. You know, I remember the prize. I remember it so well. Like I got like 12 headphones. They said like you have like a year's supply of headphone. I got like one of the first DJ softwares. I used to work on a laptop. I got this like bag. I still have that bag till today. I got this trip to the UK to DJ at Ministry of Sound. So I'm like, wow, this is like pretty cool. So to get a taste of that, then I was like, okay, I want to do this more and more.
This award made you feel that you really succeeded in this route or not?
Yeah, you know, awards are weird ones.
But that's a big one.
It is, yeah. But, you know, it's also, I judged the DJ competition recently. I always tell them I don't like DJ competition because 10 people walk out upset, one person walks out happy. And it's not very motivational for everyone who, joins the competition or whatnot. And it's a very difficult thing to judge. It's not a game of football or basketball where you score 2 points and the other person didn't score and it's 2-0. No, you're sitting with 3 people. You don't know what kind of day they had, what kind of taste they have, and you're leaving your fate is in the hand of these people sitting in front of you and how they're gonna perceive what you're gonna do. So it's a difficult one. Yes, for sure, it helped me out. I don't regret it, but I also want to tell people like it's not what makes you. Like there's awards that happen every year for best DJ in Dubai. Like there's a magazine which I'm not gonna name, but they never even nominate me. Like
no way.
They have never nominated me. And there's magazines who've given the award to other DJs in the years where like I've done like the Special Olympics, which got broadcasted on CNN to 5 million people. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed was at the Special Olympics. Like I was doing that and I still didn't win. So it's not always 1 + 1 is 2. So it's a weird one.
When the when the Dubai Bling show came, can you tell us about this experience?
Yeah.
And I'm sure it puts you were on a global scale, but I think it put you for a global recognition much bigger.
Definitely, for sure. When they first came to me, I thought it wasn't real. I ignored the email. Then they wrote me another email, and I was taking these meetings. And I was like, "This is not real." They were sending me like NDAs and stuff, but it didn't have Netflix written on any of these NDAs. So I was like, "This is not real."
Big TV.
Yeah, I was like, whatever. And then we just went in for interview. Then they said, "Yo, you're selected. We're gonna send you the contract." I was like, "All right." I still didn't believe it. When the contract came and I saw the Netflix name in there, I was like, "Oh wow, this is real." And it was a risk, going onto a show where you don't control the narrative. It was a risk I was willing to take, but I knew that I was gonna go on the show and I wanted to be myself. And the first line that you hear me say on the show, if you watch it, like it says, I want to be the world famous DJ Bliss. And you're right, I was doing shows around the world and outside, but this is like Netflix gives you a whole other platform like everywhere around the world. And it's it helped me for my career for sure.
In what sense?
Just being able to travel more. Like this summer I DJ'd at one of the biggest festivals ever. It's called Untold in Romania. I think there was like 100,000 people every day. When I DJ'd after Martin Garrix. They said there was like 60,000 people over there. So I think an opportunity like that for sure came as a result of, a show like Netflix. So, I mean, that's probably one of the biggest international gigs I've ever got in my life.
And you're continuing with them.
Absolutely. Yeah,
There are a couple of more things coming with Bling.
Yeah. I mean, season 2 should be coming out soon. We don't have an exact date yet. As long as the show is successful, people like it, and they're creating the show, then I'm happy to be a part of it.
By knowing your character now, for sure you wanted to leave the audience watching this show with a particular message. What did you want?
I just wanted to be myself. That was the most important thing. I wasn't there for the drama. I wasn't there for, I wasn't there for the hype or anything like that. I didn't want to be boring. Obviously, we're at the end of the day, it's TV. You're watching something. And also, I was the first Emirati that they reached out to be on the show. So I'm kind of like representing for my community as well. So I have to be a little bit careful in terms of what I did. It's always been like in the back of my mind, like whatever I do, like, will my mom and dad be okay to watch this, or see what I'm doing? Will
it was really visible from the show.
Well, like high-ranking people, if they watched it, would they be happy or disappointed? I always wanted them to be happy and content with what I was doing. Because I'm waving the flag for the UAE on the show.
If we talk about business, we always talk about the USP, your unique selling proposition, being unique.
Yeah,
your music is unique because you're infusing our music culture into international.
Yeah.
Am I correct or not? And how do you make yourself unique in the marketplace, let's put it this way?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through a transition right now in terms of what kind of music I'm going to make and play. It's definitely more high energy, like dance music. And then also, the Arabic roots are very important. I've infused them into like a couple of songs. I made one song about karak, which is like a drink that we love over here. It's tea with milk. Yeah. My other song, Crazy, has like, it's very obvious it has like Arabic sounds in there. And then, you know, some of the stuff I'm working on right now, they're like remixes of sort of like Khaliji songs. So I'm trying to
Infuse.
keep like an identity over here, because if I put out any song and you listen to it and you don't know that it's me, it's not it doesn't have
True.
what you spoke about, which is the identity or the
Exactly.
unique selling point. So that's the goal, you know, but it's a learning process. You have to just make it and put it out. I'm sure like any business, right?
True.
Or like, you know, I have this cafe, Karak Inc. as well. Like, we don't know. We make these drinks. I love it, you know, but until you put it out, let
Get the
people try
feedback.
it. And then you start to understand, oh, they like it a little bit sweeter, or they like it not sweet, or they like it as long as it's Instagrammable, or they like it as long as they can, I don't know,
True.
bring a friend with or
And
whatnot.
you update, modify, and
Along the way, yeah.
why DJ Bliss?
Oh, great question. So when
Blissful environment, kind of.
yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. At the time I chose the name, I knew the meaning of it. I heard it in 2 songs and I was like, let me check the meaning. And the meaning's like extreme form of happiness. So I was like, oh, this is a great word. And then I said, it sounds great, like DJ Bliss. So that's exactly how I chose it. But like now, years from now, it's, you know, I'm a spiritual person as well. It's like how I like to feel always. I want to feel blissful. It's how I want people in the room to feel if I'm in there. It's how I like people to feel when I'm DJing. So it's really like, it's a name that I always say it's a name that chose me. I didn't choose the name.
True,
And
it
it
stands
really
out.
many years later is when I really understood the meaning of having this name be associated.
It's really impactful. Pandemic, entertainment. How did you survive the pandemic? And the challenges, I'm sure you faced a lot of challenges during the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult because obviously the first thing that happened is entertainment got shut down. But I was fortunate. My kid was really young, and my second daughter was born during the pandemic as well. So I got to spend like some time, which I don't think I would have ever been able to. Although I am with them during the day, but if you know, non-pandemic, I'm on little sleep. During the pandemic, I was sleeping and being with them. So that was the good part of it. And then as far as entertainment, I tried to not think about it too much. I've been DJing like my whole life. I was like, you know, the only time I get off is Ramadan. And usually Ramadan, if I could, I'll travel to see certain places or do some stuff. So this was the first time for 2 to 3 months. It was my break, and I feel like I deserved it. I didn't try to do anything. I could have traveled. I could have gone and like, there was still Dubai like opened up pretty quick. I didn't jump to rush into it either. So I took my time. I was like, you know, this is a great time to reset, to reconnect. And
So you didn't take it as a hit. You
No.
just enjoyed the moment with yourself to recharge.
No, not at all. I mean, I was doing some live stuff from my room. It was a big thing, right? Like doing live on Instagram and whatnot. But no, it was a time to really kind of like reset. I had some businesses as well. That was the hard part. My Karak business, Karak Inc., like we opened in January and the pandemic was in March. I remember we were at our official launch party, which was in March. At the party, people were telling me that they're going to close everything in a couple of days. I'm like, it's impossible. And then boom, next week, everything closed. Yeah.
And you opened after the pandemic again.
I didn't shut. So
you didn't shut.
I had to act quick. I had to put a menu together. Initially, it was supposed to be you stop, typical, you know, stop, beep your horn, Karak comes out, a few sandwiches or whatnot. We just had to expand our menu, go into delivery model, and that's what we did.
How it worked.
My sister, who's the chef, also came in and helped me out. So you know, we have to adapt. I think the name of the game is survival over here.
100%. And perseverance, because that's my next question to you. I know that your success, you contributed to more to your perseverance and your goal setting.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
So if I ask you now, like, after all this journey, what kind of, I would say, character attributes do you have that contributed to who you are right now?
Yeah, I mean, I used to do these vlogs, and I always used to tell people it's about you know, 2 things. One is definitely perseverance, and you know, it's just one of those things where you don't quit. You know, you keep doing it. I read something that a lot of people who fail at something they do, they usually quit right before they're gonna make it, and that thing stuck in my mind like really hard. And you know, little things like 5% of the world's population own 95% of the wealth, but those 5%, the kind of work they put in or who they are, I always like looked into what they are, and they're usually hard workers. No one got a handout. There's no shortcuts. So yeah, being consistent and persistent, I think, are probably 2 of the most important things.
Yeah. If I ask you what was your lowest, I would say, moments in your journey or the worst challenge that you faced, you passed through a lot of things. Like, what could be? And what lessons did you learn from it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we spoke about COVID, it wasn't like, it was, like I said, I had time to myself, but it wasn't all like amazing. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, is things going to go back to normal? I have 3 businesses on my hand. I've got a family. I've got, you know, I work myself, and, you know, I'm the provider of my family. Are things going to go back to normal? Because I'm in the entertainment business, and it seems like entertainment is the first thing that got shut. So there was a time over there where I was a little worried about what was going to happen. And I tried not to think about it too much, but it was, you know, that was definitely one of the points. And then there's good and bad days. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like my Instagram or anybody's Instagram makes you think that everyone's life is great 24/7, like 365 days a year. But it's not true. We have good days and bad days. It's about balancing. It's about figuring out how to overcome these, you know, bad days, learning the lesson, and just having a better day as a result.
You shared the stage with icons, and from 2 things, it fulfills you as a person, and the second thing is 100%, it is putting UAE on a global map. It's already on a global map, but you're contributing to this.
Yeah.
What's kind of plans do you have to push this further, or you're enough with this?
No, definitely not enough. There's so much more that I want to do. You know, I think in the entertainment industry in Dubai, if you look around you and all the concerts and all the music festivals and all the clubs, we're importing talent all the time. And one day and I used to do work in radio. I used to interview a lot of people, and I was like, you know, I'm tired of interviewing all the celebrities and like opening up for them on stage. Like, I want to be the guy who gets interviewed. I want to be the guy who does a main set, and I want to be the guy who goes on a world tour. And I want somebody in another country to be like, oh, we got this guy from Dubai coming over here, like, you know. Like that's always been my dream, to go on a stage and hold the UAE flag up, like how other artists do with their country. Like that's literally like.
But if you tell me what you're gonna do in the next couple of years to make this happen,
so I think music is my calling. Like, you know, I've always had my fingers in a lot of pies. I always say there's a saying, the jack of all trade and the master of none. And that's been the gift and the curse for me. If I go back, would I change it? Probably not, because I enjoyed the journey, and the journey was important for me. But now that I think about, like, you know, the end goal is definitely music. So, you know, I'm in the studio working on my album. I have a record deal situation, which will be announced soon as well. And, you know, I have a great song as my first song as a feature, which should be coming out at the beginning of next year. So the music is really it. Like, I want to be releasing music, and I want to go on tours.
That's
it.
Love that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite one? It's a hard question, and sometimes it's not a good question.
From my songs, you mean?
Yeah.
Very hard.
You.
Very hard.
Wow.
I think every situation I have a song which could be the right song for the mood, but I believe my best song, I haven't released it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think it's a good mentality to have as well, because if you always say that and you think
this was the best,
well,
true.
The next one's gonna be better. Like,
true.
I always think that.
True,
I don't know. It's like a pair of jeans or a shirt. Like, when you wear it after a while, you're like, I need a new one. You know, true. Like, it's not that I hate it.
We were hearing before you come, Hala Wallah. Am I correct?
Oh yeah.
We're hearing it.
Hala Wallah is probably the one that is the first time I got guys to sing in Arabic on it. It's an international feature. Yeah. It was a special moment. I recorded the music video in 3 different places. It was definitely a good one. And also, I always think about a song like Hala Wallah. It teaches like someone who doesn't speak Arabic, like, yo, Hala Wallah, what does that mean?
Exactly.
You know, so I think it's definitely if I had to choose, it would probably be Hala Wallah right now.
I told you. I helped you.
But if I'm drinking a karak, then it's karak. If it's my birthday, then I like my song It's Your Birthday.
AI now is disrupting a lot of businesses.
Right.
And I'm sure 100% one of them is music.
The DJ world, for sure.
Absolutely. How do you see it, and how will you going to adapt to this?
Like everything else that came in to disrupt the world, you know, you have to learn to either work with it or watch the ship sail without you. True. You know, that's the bottom line. The ship is always going to arrive at the dock. You decide you're going to jump on this ship or you're going to sit on that island, because that ship is definitely going to sail and you don't know where it's going to.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Better to go on the ship, see where it goes, and then have a life jacket and jump on in case you need to jump on another ship. But that's just part of it. But look, there's it's a little scary for sure.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of positives, you know, AI and, you know, what kind of technology and AI can help, you know, cure cancer. What kind of technology can help us do our job more efficiently, write better letters, create...
Be more efficient, be more productive.
Definitely, yeah. There's definitely, I think the human element will always be there. But, you know, those jobs where before it was like, you know, the person who was passing you the cup that you can reach for, that person is going to, the middleman is going to get eliminated.
But tell us, so for our understanding, we know, for example, if we want to write a letter, we use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
For in DJing, what can AI do? Literally, what is the possibility?
That's a great question. So there's there's a technology now where you can get your voice right now. You can just say something and it can change your voice to Drake's voice. There's already that technology. Then there's also ChatGPT. You can go in there and be like, do I say that right? I always make
GPT.
GPT.
GDP.
I always say GTP.
Economics.
GGE. So you can go in there and say, write me a song that Drake would write. So it would write you exactly a song that Drake would have written because the words are right. You take these words, you put into another AI software, you say, rap this like Drake, and then you've got the thing. Now, I know what you're thinking, like you're stealing somebody's property, right? But that's the extreme point, which eventually they will tackle. What I can do is I have a song right now and I need a song with a rapper that's going to sound like a Drake, for example. So I go in there, I can make it and put it over my song. Then I have a reference so then I can, you know what I mean?
Got it.
So you can do stuff like that. So it's definitely helping in that sense. I don't know if it's necessarily also like AI, but even our DJ software, you know, before people used to say, hey, can you remove the vocals or make the acapella?
Yeah.
It was like, no, we cannot. You cannot just do it from your physical equipment.
True.
There's softwares that can do it, but now
Super easy.
you can do it live in your DJ set. You press one button, it's acapella.
No way.
And I'm guessing it has something to do with AI in some way or form.
I'm sure you have some daily habits and routines because what I read about you is you have, for example, night rituals that you do and some affirmations. Can you share with us and how you believe in this and how it came to you actually?
So, you know, I try to stay close as possible to, you know, reminding myself to do these things all the time. But, you know, I'm not always that great because it's a typical thing that we do, right? We never think about God until something goes wrong. And what's the first thing you say? Oh my God. Well, what happened to oh my God when nothing was going on? So I think the same thing applies to like, you know, affirmations or whatnot. So, you know, I'm a big believer of like vision boards. I did a vision board once and like literally 90% of them came true to like the point where the car that I put on there, the exact same car I was driving it, like exactly the same. I put a picture of, I'll give you another great example. Like I put a picture of an island. Like I was fascinated by these islands that had these like bungalow, you know, I always loved it. So I just Googled bungalow, villa, island. Got a picture, I put it on there. You will not believe, when I went on my honeymoon, I went to that exact same island and I got that same picture that I put on my vision board. I took it from the plane myself.
No way.
Yes, because what I did is I found that picture. I'm like, when I was looking for this hotels in the Maldives, I'm like, these look a lot like my vision board. So I found the picture, Google searched the picture. It found me the name of the
hotel resort.
The hotel resort, and then I booked that. So literally the picture that I had on my vision board, I took it myself from a seaplane at the top.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the vision board. The affirmations, I think, is very important. So you can forget to do things. You know, like I know the story about the pilots. Pilots know how to fly the plane, but if anytime you walk past a pilot's cockpit, he's always reading a book, right? Yeah. Always. Yeah. Anytime you go in there, he's cross-checking everything. Why? Because a pilot knows that he's got a very serious job to fly a plane with all these people, so he's not going to rely on his memory to know what he did. So the same thing applies to affirmations, right? I know my affirmations inside out. Do I read them every day? No, but I took it and I stuck it on my mirror in the bathroom because that's the first place I go in the morning, and that's really the best time to do it. As soon as you brush your teeth, wash your face, you look up, boom, right there. Yeah. So, you know, if I didn't have it over there, I didn't have it on my phone, it didn't work. I put it on my table, but I wasn't always at my table. So, you know, it's just a reminder. So, you know, it's very basic, not basic, but it's like just general stuff. So
Do you mind sharing it?
Yeah. So it's I have an abundance of energy. I'm free of pain. Today's my day. Today I'll change my life. I'm strong. I'm beautiful. I'm loved. Unlimited energy will find me today. Today I'm a magnet for ideas. I'll be a giver of love today. The sunlight fills me with confidence. Whatever challenges come my way, I will overcome them. Today I'll learn and grow. I'll be a better person today. I'll help someone today. I love who I see in the mirror. Success will find me today. I'm grateful for another day to shine. Today is full of possibilities, and I will be fearless today.
And you do this.
I do that at the end, yeah.
I love that.
Because at the end of it, it's like, I'm going to be fearless today. You go out with that kind of energy and like you're ready for the day.
You said fearlessness. This is a nice thing to face challenges,
Yeah.
right? Can you tell me more about this?
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of times that we don't do things or like things stop us, it's really because of fear. Like fear is one of the number one things to like get over. A lot of times like people like, oh, I don't like skydiving, for example. You think that they have a fear of flights, but they don't. They have a fear of the unknown. They have a fear of what they do not know and what they're not used to, or certain food or anything for that matter, right? And also, I feel like if you really like researched it and like talked yourself through it, there's always a way over. And that's what I think our gift is compared to like, you know, like we're all mammals, we're all animals, right? But what made us different than a lion or a tiger or an elephant, it's our brain. So, you know, to be able to think about things and to be able to overcome these kind of situations, because yes, a lion knows how to hunt probably better than anyone, but you put him in a maze, he's not necessarily going to get out of it. But the human mind and what God gave us is our brain. So I feel like just like using it to its maximum potential is the key in that kind of situation.
Can I ask you what inspired you to have this kind of affirmation? Something related to Will Smith or something like that, or not?
I mean, Will Smith, I think he's one of the like, when you sit with him in a room, like he's just like, it's just affirmation printer. Like he's just printing it. It's amazing. Like he's like one of the most genuine, amazing people you'll ever meet. It was always around me. I feel like it was a calling that, you know, like, you know, that feeling you get in your gut that you're not sure what it is. You shouldn't ignore it. And it's just one of those things that I feel really good when I'm close to it. And I'm not going to lie, I do drift away sometimes. I don't read those affirmations all the time. But when I do get into the affirmations, when I start believing myself in what I'm going to do and I'm going to go out and get it, like I see results.
It primes you up, I believe.
I mean, I told you, I put a picture of an island on my vision board and I was in the island. So it was, and by the way, if I show you the vision board, like, there's a lot of stuff in there. Like there was a picture, like I put a picture of Will Smith on my vision board. I put a picture of him and his wife on a red carpet, and I put a picture of him and his wife and his kids as another one to show like sort of like family. And then 2 years later, I meet him. One of the times, listen to this is crazy. One of the times I meet him was when I was hosting the Oscars on the red carpet. I met his kids in Dubai randomly also. And then I put another picture of like a private jet. I always thought it'd be fascinating to like fly private jet. I ended up flying a private jet with like one of the guys that I know in America. Like it just like the black, I put a car, like I put a black Tahoe. You know, one of those like in America, those full black. I put that. That became my car. Like I found it somehow. My friend called me like, yo, I have a guy who's selling a Tahoe. I'm like,
what?
So the thing is, like people tell you like, look, you cannot put a picture of, I put a picture of Emirates first class. I got upgraded to first class one time. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm telling you. So it's hard to ignore it. To answer the question, it's actually very easy for someone like me to believe it because it's happened. It's hard for the person who nothing has happened to. But you know what's the problem with that person? They're dealing with, one is probably fear. The second is he just doesn't believe it. He's like, man, if you tell me this paper is going to turn black, it's not going to turn back. It's white, you know, like. It's like that disbelief is not gonna...
Self-doubt, I won't be able to make it.
Yeah, but no, like I can tell you, like I can turn this paper black for you. You're gonna tell me, no, it's not possible. I'll tell you, well, give me 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
True.
You gotta believe. Yeah. That's the most important thing.
You know, scientifically, vision boards work because it works on part of our brain called RAS, which is the reticular activating system. It makes you focus on these, even if you're not working towards it 100%. Yeah. But it's always in my mind. You want to manifest this.
Absolutely.
So I love these as well.
Look, I'll give you another example just to make it easier, because I know there's people who are watching right now. They're still thinking, "Oh man, this guy, like he has his life easy." By the way, my life was not easy at all. I had to work towards getting everything. I'll give you another example, which will give you the answer. Yeah. You want to go buy a Mercedes G-Class, right? What happens that whole week? You go to the showroom, you see a G class, you call, you check Dubizzle. What happens on the road when you're driving? What do you see?
You keep tracking
You
of them.
keep seeing G classes,
Yeah,
right?
true.
But why does that happen? It's not like these cars weren't in the road before. They were all there. But no, you made a decision that you want a G class. Now you're seeing it everywhere. So why don't you just do the same with money? Just picture $1 million. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to start seeing money.
Opportunities.
Yeah.
If I ask you what is success for you, and did it change over your career?
Yeah.
What is success for you now, and did it change?
Yeah, I mean, I think my theory about what success is has changed like many times. As a young, when I was young, it meant one thing. I think it wasn't always money related for sure. I always think that money can come and go, but success, I think, is what can allow you to make money forever. Your values about what success is like changes when you have a family, when you get married, when you have kids, completely different as well. When you're in business also, there's a different meaning to what success is. So success can mean different things in different situations. I think success in a relationship can be different. Success in life can be different. Success in money can be different because what I need or what I want is very different from what you want and what you need. So we cannot really quantify what success.
But I'll tell you, majority of the people that I sit with, when I ask them what is success for you,
Yeah.
the answer, like I would say 90% of the answers is, I wake up and I do whatever I want. Is it that you now or not?
Wake up and do whatever I want. I mean, I could wake up and do whatever I want, but I believe if I did that, I wouldn't be successful.
True. That's why I'm
For
saying
long-
90%
for
of
long.
people.
For long.
For a period of time, yes. Do you have a hidden talent or a skill that nobody knows?
A hidden talent. Well, I play the guitar and drums. I think a few people know, if you dive deep into it. But it was really my first sort of taste in music, playing the guitar and drums. So that was really the first thing. But no, I'm a very public person as well. Like I always share everything with, people on social media or in life. So I'm pretty I'm pretty public in that sense.
Cool. Then what will be your aspirations and goals personally and professionally?
I think personally, I just want to make sure that I'm in the house enough for my family, for my wife and my kids, and like be able to be a role model for my kids, especially. I think we went through a generational change. I don't know if you feel this way too, but I came from a family of my mom raised 5 kids by herself, and my dad went to work all day. He wasn't always there, like picking us up, dropping us. It was my mom doing it. She was cooking for us, raising us. Like she raised 5 kids by herself, and then she said that like on the kid number 3 she got help, and I have like 2 people helping me with like 2 kids right now. So, so we're seeing a generational change, and also like. The Arab father is very, very hard. They want man up. And for me, I have a different relationship with my kids, my son and my daughter. It's more based on love and trust and motivation and making sure that I'm there witnessing what they're doing to like not send them in the direction, but just to watch from a distance and also understand who they are, and because each person is different, right? So. I want to personally. I definitely want to make sure that like no matter what I do, I'm there to be part of this journey. And me personally, I love kids as well. So this is like to have my own kids is
How old
amazing.
are they?
They're 5 and 3.
5 and 3. Okay,
Yeah.
let's say. Not let's say. This video will be on the internet for quite long.
Yeah.
Okay. So when your kids become almost like I would say 10, 15,
Yeah.
and they will see this
Yeah.
podcast, I want you to look at the camera and tell them something from 2023
Wow.
that they will see. I would say like in 10 years time frame.
Wow. All right. I mean, first of all, my son Zayed, that was my firstborn. You really taught me something new coming into this world, because I really thought I already experienced love to the maximum. But when I saw my own baby, that's where I really learned the meaning of true love. And to my daughter Mira, same thing. However, taught me what feminine love is in a completely different experience and situation. So first of all, I want to tell you that, and just watching you guys grow, I feel like when I watch them, there's a little bit of me, there's a little bit of my wife, and then there's a little bit of themselves. So it's amazing, because every time I see them do something, I'm like, oh, that's me, or that's my wife. I'm like, oh, but that's you. So I think with God's greatest creation. Like I was telling somebody the other day who had a baby. I'm like, isn't that crazy? Like a human being is born into this world as a result of two people. So, I always tell them, and I tell them, and they hear this from me all the time. I always tell them, I'm like, thank you so much for making me a dad. And my son says, why? You were a regular person before that? I'm like, yeah, I was a regular person before that.
I love that.
But yeah, it's a continuous journey. And if you guys are watching this right now, which I'm sure you will, I can't wait to learn more from you and just be on this journey together for as long as possible.
I love it.
Wow, you almost got me a little emotional. my voice was shaking a little bit.
What about professionally? What will be your goals professionally?
I think professionally, I've got to start taking a step back from a lot of things that I've, I told you, the jack of all trades and having my finger in a lot of pies, with things like my coffee shop, Kadak Inc. I have a barbershop, Beats and Cuts. I have a talent agency with like 15 DJs. We used to do events. My dad's business, which I'm running for him. I think it's time for me to, say, guys, I need to focus on me. Because I think if I put 20% into all of these 5 things, I'm only going to get 20 back. Let's say it doubles, that's 40. So I don't think that's a good ratio. If I put 100% into my music and, what my true love is and my calling, and I get 100% back or 200% back, I think that will, be able to
100%.
get me to where I want to go, both mentally, be happy, and also career-wise as well.
What will be the biggest, I would not say like the coming project that people should wait from you?
Definitely my new album and my new songs. So it's nothing like you've heard before. I'm in a great situation with some great people as well, which I'm going to announce soon as well. And this new music you're going to hear, it's just completely different.
Wow.
I have some stuff that's very like, dance music, and then I'm definitely trying to like incorporate more Arabic stuff to really not wave the flag for the UAE, but for the whole Middle East and the Arab world as a whole, to be on a global stage and to do that, and hopefully pave the way for the next generation and generations after that to understand that they can also do it.
When they should expect the next release?
Hopefully January.
Wow.
Yeah,
We're
January,
waiting.
and I've got a feature rapper on there from America too, so it's gonna be
A bomb.
Yeah.
We're looking forward.
Thank you.
We have a section here called the Alpha Quickfire Insights. Okay, I'm
Let's
gonna
go.
shoot quick questions, and you
Can I
answer
skip?
us.
Can I skip if I want to, or
Of
no?
course, I will delete. So the first one, a person who influenced you the most in your life.
Wow. Look, this is gonna sound crazy. I'm gonna say myself. Like I literally.
It's not gonna be a quick fire. I
Yeah.
will pause here. Tell me more. Tell me more.
I looked for inspiration in a lot of people, but the place where I found the inspiration and the answers to get to where I am today, I had to look in the mirror a lot. I had to criticize myself, talk to myself, and I had to work on it myself as well. So it like really self-inspired.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite book?
The Alchemist, because it's the first book I ever read.
Man,
You too?
exactly.
I think because I never really read books, and everyone said if you don't ever read a book, like it's definitely Paulo Coelho. Like his books are the best.
True.
So if you've never read a book, I would say The Alchemist. Right now I'm reading a book called The One Thing. It's also a good one.
Yeah, it's a very good one. It's
Yeah.
a very good one. That's why you're focusing on your business now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to focus
Yeah,
on
yeah.
music. True. What is your favorite movie genre?
Movie genre, definitely not horror. I don't know why. It scares me now. I like comedy movies.
Yeah.
I like comedy
Cheer
because
up.
it makes me feel better, and I love that era of comedy when we were growing up, things like Mrs. Doubtfire
Oh
and
my
like
God, yeah. Nice ones.
Martin
Yeah.
Lawrence and like all those. Those are good
Yeah.
movies, good days.
What is your biggest, I would say, life biggest regret?
My life's biggest regret. No regrets, really. No regrets.
At all?
No. I believe that everything in life is a lesson, and I never stopped and be like, this thing really ruined me or stopped me. I feel like, okay, this thing was a really bad thing that happened to me? How can I not do it next time? And how can I be better? How can I overcome this? And it was always a lesson. So I don't feel like no regrets.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I used to be a night owl. Now I'm an early bird. And if I'm DJing, I'm a little bit later.
Course.
But if I'm not, I love waking up early in the morning. Like, I think it's the early, what did they say? The early bird that catches the morning worm.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, there is definitely truth into it. Look, I'm a creative person. I used to be up all night. I felt like the night was perfect. No one was awake. The energy was right. But I realized more and more, and if you look at the history of successful people, wealthy people, rich people, they are all early morning people. 5 o'clock in the morning, up and ready to go.
True.
Because they say you want to be up 3 hours before the guy who's the CEO.
True. Are you like tea or coffee?
I like karak.
Water. 2 bottles of water. Water.
I need a karak in the morning. I need a karak in the tea. Definitely tea.
Tea. Beach or mountains?
Oh, mountains.
Oof. Okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Your morning routine is usually gym or sleep in? Sleep in.
Ideally, gym. Gym. Yeah, get the blood pumping in the morning. Yeah.
Favorite travel destination?
My favorite place to go in the world is Los Angeles.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's not one of those typical places.
True.
The reason why I like Los Angeles is, one, it's an entertainment capital. The second thing is I feel at home over there. Like, doesn't matter what you look like, what you speak like. You go in there, you go into any coffee shop or meet people, you fit in right away. And also, I can drive over there. I rent a car, and whenever I go there, I rarely stay at hotels. I stay in Airbnbs. I want to feel like I'm at home. I go shopping in the supermarket. There's an experience in America which is very
unique to it.
Yeah, because if you grew up watching Hollywood films and you go to Hollywood, then it's like, whoa, like I've seen this before. So yeah, I like going there. It's like, for me, like if you told me, hey, here's a ticket, where do you want to go right now for a month? It would be LA.
LA. Oh.
Yeah.
City living or countryside?
City living.
Of course.
I'm considering countryside, but I'm just one of those people who likes to get out of my house and get to where I am. You know, I just can't do this.
Commuting.
Yeah.
Okay. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise or sunset? Wow, that's a good one. I'm gonna say sunrise.
Ooh, early bird.
The early morning energy is different.
True.
Yeah,
true.
Sunset's beautiful, but it goes very quick.
Yeah, done. A car or a bike?
A bicycle or a motorbike?
A motorbike.
Motorbike? No, a car. I don't know how to ride a bike.
Okay. Favorite cuisine?
Favorite cuisine is my mom's cuisine. Like everything
Whatever
she makes. Yeah, it's like she makes a bit of everything. But my mom, honestly, like it's very hard to compete with her. I don't know if everyone says this, but I mean, we get a lot of people come over to my house like, your mom cooks so good. But my mom's cooking is like something else. Yeah.
Next episode or we need to try it.
Yeah,
okay?
definitely.
Favorite color?
Favorite color? Black.
Okay. Car brand. What's your favorite car brand?
Oh man, they're gonna have to put some money in my pocket to answer this question. I mean, I don't usually like Maserati, but if they sent me a car, Maserati's my favorite car. I mean, Ferraris are hard to drive daily, but if they gave me a Ferrari, like Ferraris are comfortable to drive too.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say, look, Cadillacs are too big. But if they gave me a Cadillac, I mean, it's not that big.
Well said. Well said.
I give you 3 opportunities for a sponsor for the show.
Done. What about a watch?
Watch. So I'm Apple Watch all the time, and if I do go out and I have to wear another watch, I've got the Rolex, which they call the Batman or the Pepsi, which is black and white.
True.
So I always go double watch. And I'm also like pretty fascinated, but I have I forgot what it's called. I did a collaboration once with Tag Heuer, and I wasn't really like into it, but they gave me a pretty nice watch, black and red. And funny enough, here's the thing. One of the things I put on my vision board was a black and red watch. Now, it wasn't the AP that I put on there, or was it a Hublot? I can't remember. But that's another watch that I got, so I like that. And then I think my next watch will be an AP probably. I like APs.
The best.
Yeah.
The best. Sponsors, please.
I keep doing this. So somebody's got to come through.
Exactly.
I used to do this on my vlog. Like
How do you define an alpha for you?
how do I find an alpha?
No, define. What's an alpha for you? We are in the alpha talks.
Yeah.
So how do you define what's an alpha for you?
That's a great question. I mean, when we first started and your intro, you were mentioning it so much. I'm like, oh, this is a great term. I think it's a great term, and I was thinking after this podcast, I wanted to actually go into dissecting this word and where it comes from and what it's about, because it's really like a what do you call it?
From
Like
the top of the pack, in
Like
the animal
lion-
kingdom.
yeah.
Mhm.
What defines them? I think characteristics for sure. I think times have changed right now. You don't have to be an alpha all the time. You have to decide when you put your alpha on and off. But I definitely think in life, everyone, whether you're a kid, a woman, a guy, or whatever, you have to find your alpha within yourself and figure out when you need to bring this alpha out.
True.
Because this world that we live in requires
Exactly.
some alpha sometimes. Like you can't say, oh, it depends on what life you want to live. But if you out there and you want to go and achieve, like you have to be in this conversation about alphas.
I love how you define it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And actually, honestly, after you talked about it, I was like, I'm going to go home and I want to dissect this a little bit more.
And tell me what you will find.
Yeah,
It would be
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
What kind of message do you want to leave our audience today with? It's been an amazing, actually.
Thank you.
Chat. So what kind of message, whatever it comes to?
I mean, I want it to be a message of inspiration. I want people to hear this interview and learn from it. I want them to take away like lessons from it, which they can adapt in their daily life. Like I think that's something I'd love to do in sort of the music industry, but just as a whole in life. Like you always see me talking to people in my team or family members, and trying to like inspire them to be better. And sometimes I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I'm always right. Like I'm the first one who looks in the mirror and says, let's fix let's start with the man in the mirror first. But I hope to like inspire and like help people wherever possible. Like one thing that you have on me, like you might, if we ran a marathon, I'm not quitting till we reach the finish line. Like that's me. And by the way, that is true. Yeah. Last year I ran the New York Marathon. It took me 7 hours, but I'm like, I'm not quitting till I get to the end of the. So that's sort of my belief.
So
like,
never quit.
I'm making it to the finish line. Maybe it will take me a day. Maybe it'll take me 2 days or whatever. But I'm not a quitter because quitters don't win and winners don't quit.
True. I love that.
Yeah.
We have a ritual in the Alpha Talks podcast. It's called the Alpha Talks Memoir.
Yeah.
So it's like a journal where the Alpha guest make three things. One of them is to write about the experience in the Alpha Talks podcast.
Yeah.
The second is to write a question to the next Alpha guest,
Nice.
which is a way of communicating together,
Nice.
though they don't know who's writing the question.
Yeah.
Okay. And the third, what's going to be your recommendation for an Alpha guest that will really inspire our audience? So these are the three things.
Okay.
Before we move to this, I will do it off shooting. I will ask
The
you
question from last time?
Exactly.
Here we go. What made you come up with the name Alpha Talks, by the way?
Because I created a movement called the Alpha Movement.
Yeah.
And a pillar from it is an Alpha Talks, which is like the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of them is the Alpha Vault, which is the training.
Nice.
Then what else? Alpha Books series. But I love the name. It's
You
like,
love it, yeah? I feel like it represents you a lot too, right?
so much.
Yeah,
in
when
a
you
way.
say it, it's like,
It comes
you own
from
it.
deep.
Yeah,
It comes from
yeah.
deep. And there's a magazine also, Alpha Mag. So it's
Nice.
like 4 pillars in it.
Amazing,
So
man.
the question is, what one skill do you regret not learning, and why have you still not done it? I don't think it's your character, but
Wow, but it's a great question though for someone like me. What is the one skill I regret not learning? I'll be honest. I wish I focused a little bit more on Arabic. Because I was so focused on English media, English TV and radio, and that's the sort of the line that I wanted to go to. I do feel like I wish I learned it better. I mean, I can have a full conversation with someone. It's just I'm not. When I went through my
Not
TV or
comfortable.
radio days, I couldn't do like presenting Arabic. But then again, I always say like you master one. Like I've, like you really do well in one, and then people like really applaud you for like people like say, oh my God, you're really from here. You never left. You sound like that. I'm like, yes, I
do
really
you remember
sound.
when we were sitting around? Did you speak Arabic? Your
A lot of
English is
people.
bomb, so do you speak Arabic?
A lot of people say that. So I think Yeah, and I'm trying not to make the same mistake with my son. You know, I'm trying to like speak to him in Arabic. I'm trying to make an Arabic song so he can learn Arabic.
Marwan, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
Really
you so
appreciate
much.
it. It's an honor, and it was a great conversation.
Thank you.
I hope we will do another one
For sure.
after this song releases in Jan.
Yeah, definitely.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
I
much, my
appreciate
man.
it. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
That wraps another inspiring episode of today's show. I hope that this episode has ignited your inner alpha. Remember, alphas aren't born, they're made. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the Alpha Talks on your favorite podcast platform. Also connect with us on social media at SEIF Hakim. Share your thoughts, insight, and stories of personal and business growth with us. Let's create a movement of alphas supporting one another. The world needs more alphas like you exactly. Until next time, stay bold, stay driven, and stay alpha.